Hello there, you amazing viewers and subscribers. Yes, as you can tell, I'm wearing both of my Tom Baker scarves because this is a Tom Baker story review. I'm going to be reviewing The City of Death. And this is personally one of the best Tom Baker stories out of Season 17. This and Charlotte makes Season 17 absolutely fantastic. And to be honest with you, I'm rewatching Creature from the Pit at the moment, and that is not as bad as I actually thought it was. So Season 17 might move up above Season 16 in a way. Or Season 15. Somewhere. I need to rethink about this because I'm actually in the middle of rewatching Season 15. I absolutely do enjoy this season. So, what I'm going to show you of City of Death, what I've got the VHS from 1991, City of Death here. The 2001 VHS release. And then the 2005 DVD release. I absolutely do enjoy this story. I mean, Tom Baker and Leona Ward, you can actually tell they're enjoying each other's company during the story. And I think at this point in the story, they are in a relationship. I could be totally wrong about that. I could be totally right. But this story was actually written by David Angelou. So a bit before I get into... So I'm going to read a bit about my notes before I get into what I personally think about it. So, a peaceful holiday in Paris takes a magical turn for the Doctor and Romana as cracks start to appear in the fabric of time itself. Uncovering a plot by the Senator Count Julia Glove, played by Julia Glove, obviously, he's absolutely one of the best Doctor Who support characters out there. He plays Scaroff, the last of the Jaggeroth, a villainous warlike alien race who plans to restore to life by reversing time. Because when you get to the opening episode and you see the Jaggerfrost spaceship and they actually basically try and take off in warp drive and it ends up destinating and creating life on Earth, Scaroff is split into 12 different segments of himself all through time. One of them is in Paris in 1979. One of them is with Leonardo da Vinci, when the one who painted the Mona Lisa, or as the Doctor calls him, the woman with the terrible with no eyebrows who wouldn't stay still. I enjoy this story. I do like Julia Glove's performance, and he's great with Tom Baker, I have to say. So, anyway, the Count is trying to steal the Mona Lisa. The Doctor goes to a dangerous quest through history to Italy. There he discovers the covering truth about the Count and his experiments with time. Now, I have to say, this story is absolutely great. It has a character named Duncan, who's a police officer, and he's watching the Countess, who's married to the Count. Again, you do have some great stuff in the story as well. I love the way you have Duncan, instead of like being a normal person, he just goes around thumping everybody he can see. He even pushes his way through a wall. And I absolutely love Tom Baker's performance. He goes, Duncan, if you do that again, I will have to do something about that, wouldn't I? Yes. Now, the one thing I can actually tell you about the story, what makes it love, I love the cliffhanger to part one. So when you have Julia Glove, like, there, and he's literally looking in a mirror and he's literally taking his face off, because he's inside his face, he has this great big massive green wormy sort of face with one eye. Here's the image just here. That's what he looks like. That is terrifying. So when you see it, and then he literally like got it like that, turn around, and he's like that, and he's like, and then you just go, again, I absolutely do love the title's 1970 title sequence. I absolutely enjoy the story. I think Julia Glove is one of the best support characters Doctor Who's ever got in its history of run. I mean, we do have some famous people popping up during the modern era as well as classic era. But Julia Glove, I actually would like to see him return at some point to the show as playing somebody else, because I think he's actually a great support cast in this story. So when the Doctor and Romana discover they're trying to steal the Mona Lisa, and basically something's going wrong with time, and they end up getting caught while there's still a bracelet that the Countess was wearing, and where she's literally measuring up how to steal the Mona Lisa. The Doctor discovers that he has actually got 6 pictures of the Mona Lisa inside a little vault, and then he's on about stealing the 7th one. But the Doctor, he doesn't know this, because the Doctor actually wrote in black felt tip pen, "This is a fake," on all 6 of them, apart from the original one which was in the Louvre, I think. So he's literally written big fat felt tip pen, "This is a fake." I absolutely enjoy this story. It gives a great time travel persona. Now, the one that I absolutely love, I love the cameo from, I can't remember the actor's name, but it reminds me, I think it's the actor that plays Basil in Fawlty Towers, because you have him there with a woman talking about the TARDIS being exquisite like that. And then when you kind of see the Doctor, Romana and Duncan basically walking into the TARDIS, and then the TARDIS just vanishes and it goes, "Yes, absolutely exquisite." I absolutely love the way that was performed absolutely well. There's some great liners from the Doctor. I mean, I like the bit with the butler when he gets pushed in. He goes, "What wonderful butler, so violent." And then he literally there talking to the Countess, goes, "Well, you're most probably a beautiful woman." Probably. I absolutely love the way Tom Baker does that. He gives some great lines, Tom Baker. He gives a lot of great lines in this story, and you can tell he's enjoying himself during this season. His attitude does change in season 18 because he becomes more moody and stuff, which you do see in certain episodes. But in this story, you can see actually Tom Baker is enjoying himself. He loves being a Doctor. Now, the one thing I can actually personally tell you about this story that I physically love about it, it has its greatest moments. The way you see in part 4 with Scaroff there trying to stop himself from taking off, and then Duncan just goes and punches him in the face, and the Doctor just goes, "Well done, Duncan, well done." And then Scaroff vanishes back in, and then he ends up getting shot by one of the butler, because he hasn't seen the Jaggervoss before, so he's not wearing his mask. So the person that he literally turns around and says, "No, stop!" and he's just there, goes like that, and then the machine blows up. I love the Professor, but when you see the Count literally turn on the machine, the time machine, and then when you see him possess into, like, he's there going, "No, not that, my dad," and then he's literally there like morphing. He goes into like towards the end of the scene, he literally turns into a skeleton. And then you just go, "Nah." And again, that's another good cliffhanger. I love the cliffhanger. I think it's for about part 3, part 2, where the Doctor goes back to Italy to talk to Leonardo da Vinci. And then he turns around and goes to Scaroff, because Scaroff is there. One of his imposters, like one of his versions, is there. And he goes, "What are you doing here?" "I'd like to ask you the same thing, Doctor." I really do love those cliffhangers, and the way Judy Glover just goes, "Doctor," like that. It's like, that's one of the best. I love when a villain just goes, "Doctor," like that, in a creepy sort of villainous way. I really love it in classic Doctor Who, I have to say. The City of Death for me is the best story out of season 17, followed by Shada. The weakest, I still have to say, is Destiny of the Daleks for season 17, but I'm in the middle of rewatching Creature from the Pit. Now, I thought, when I first watched it, I didn't actually kind of like it. I thought it was terrible. But rewatching it now, I'm actually seeing it in a new light, and I haven't watched it for 5 years. So I think season 17 might move up above season 16 in a way, after I've finished rewatching the whole season. Because I'm really looking forward to the Blu-ray now, to be honest with you, because after seeing halfway through A Creature from the Pit, I'm like, this is actually not as bad as I thought it was. So that will be another review coming out. I don't know if it will be today or tomorrow. It depends, because I have got some other videos that I want to make. Again, I physically do enjoy City of Death. I like the Count, played by Julia Glove. I love Scaroff. I think he's an actually interesting villain, and the way he literally wants to stop all life so he doesn't split himself into time, it scatters around. I think that's a really great thing for a villain to do. Now, the one thing I don't really like in this story is that we got no K9, because the actor that played K9 in season 15 and 16, John Leeson, I think he ended up taking a break, because John Leeson was took over by David Bradley, I think. Not the first Doctor actor. I think it's somebody named David Bradley who does the voice of K9 from Creature from the Pit and the last couple of stories for season 17. So I don't understand. But K9 does get mentioned when the Doctor walks in after he goes to the museum at night. Does like that, opens the door, goes into his house, and goes, "Hello, K9." I actually like that little cameo bit with the Doctor saying, "Hello, K9." As I was saying, Scaroff is a great, interesting villain. I absolutely do love the story. So again, I actually own this story twice on VHS, and then of course on DVD. Again, yes, I am looking forward to sitting down, watching this in full beautiful HD. It's a great story. Filming location in Paris works really, really well. I think that Tom Baker and Lyanna Wood was in a relationship with the story, because you do see that kind of like they're kind of like bouncing off each other in this story. They're kind of a great sort of I do love Tom Baker with Lyanna Wood than I do with Mary Tamm's Romana. I think Tom and Lyanna gets on really, really well. I don't think Tom got on with Mary Tamm as well as he does with Lyanna Wood and Elizabeth Sladen and Joan Leela Johnson. So let me know in the comments what you think of Doctor Who, The City of Death. Is it one of your favourite stories, if out of season 17? And if I was to do a whole Tom Baker new ranking, this whole story most probably be moved into my top 5. I can't remember if I have already done one. So thank you for watching. Have a great day. And join me later on today when I sit down and talk about my 5 favourite Doctor Who stories I like to sit down and watch on Halloween. Thank you for watching and have a great day.